All right, guys, back again. I have a very special guest. This is awesome for me because I had his dad, Brendan, and his uncle Chuck Adarino as a teacher when I was a junior in high school at Philadelphia Academy. So it's pretty incredible that I am interviewing a little Sullivan who signed a contract with the Union last year. So it's very exciting that Quinn is on the roster with the first team. So I do have number 33, midfielder Quinn Sullivan.
Sir,
Yeah.
glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you on, and I'm really excited to start to follow you now with your young soccer career now professionally. So it was funny. So like we were in high school, your dad used to joke around with everyone saying that his sons are going to be world-class soccer athletes. And then, yeah, so like, of course, they used to rile up a lot of people and all. So they're like, yeah, okay, we had no idea what he's talking about. But then, like, you guys were absolute beasts, like playing youth soccer and all. So, like, it's
Mhm.
really cool that you signed the contract last year and all. So that's
Yeah.
awesome to see. Yeah, I mean, a major shout out to your dad and your uncle Chuck. I mean, they have played a huge role, like in my writing and also my sports knowledge too. So they really sharpened my skills to be like a sportscaster and all now. Yeah. So my first question I have for you, like I probably five years ago, you were in the stands, at Subaru Park watching it, and then when you signed that contract, I think it was like November or December of last year. Like, how crazy and taken back were you?
It was definitely pretty crazy. I mean, up until like even last year with the when we lost to New England Revolution in the playoffs, I was in the stands for that game. So it was really up until like this year where I'm officially on the roster. Um, when I first signed the contract, it was definitely a feeling of relief. I mean, the first day was like amazing. All the social media, the flooding of texts and everything, like that was really special because I mean, people that I didn't even like think would like remember me were reaching out and saying congratulations, and so that was special. But I would say that I knew that the hard work that I put in so far has paid off, but the following day I was like, all right, now the grind really starts because I'm jumping up a level and I'm the youngest on the team. I'm at the bottom of the depth chart and have to work my way up and gain
Oh
respect.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll never forget that day because super fan Jeffrey Mitchell. I'm sure you're gonna
Mhm.
meet him one day. He's like a huge Philadelphia Union guy. He shared it, and I almost dropped my phone. I was like, Quinn Sullivan, what? Like that's awesome. Yeah, that was really cool. I mean, of course, I was happy for your mom and dad too. Like it's major accomplishment, to sign a contract at the age of 16. Like that is unreal. It's awesome. So I'm sure it's fresh in your head, but what was that day like? Like when you knew that you were going to sign the contract, and then what was it like after, after meeting with Chris Albright, Ernest, and then even the big guy Jim? Like, what was that whole day like?
So it was weird. I remember when I made my decision, I can pick out, I don't remember the date, but I was in school and close to the stadium in Chester. That's where like our school was at the time.
Hmm.
Um, and I remember hopping on the phone with my dad and my mom and like telling them what I was thinking and like I think I'm gonna do it. And they were like, I'm with you. Like let's do it. And then I called my now agent and told him that I wanted to make the deal, and um, that was the real big sense of relief. And at the time, I was with Brandon Craig, who also
Oh
signed
wow.
with me. Yeah, so I stepped away from the table that we were at to make my calls, but then I came back and he had already signed, and I was like, hey, like we're gonna be on the first team together, another team that we're on the same team together for our whole lives. And then the day I signed the contract, it wasn't really anything too special about that day. I just remember the documents came in, my mom pulled them up on her iPad so I could sign them, and that was it. But then when it got announced, which you were referencing, that day was special. I mean, I came home from practice in school, and then it got released, and I went to my brother's practice that night, and like a bunch of people who had just saw the post had come up to me and was like, "Wow, that's amazing! Congratulations!"
Oh, that is awesome. Like, yeah, like what a turn of events, how like you like got a call and then also your parents were on board with it too. Like that is phenomenal. And then also I'm sure that, you kind of took the spotlight from your brother's practice because everyone was all circled around you congratulating you. That is so cool.
Yeah.
So I do have a couple questions about the youth academy. So the first one I have is, so what's your favorite memory of the youth academy? It could be a personal accomplishment or it could be a team accomplishment.
Um, that's a tough one. I mean, I played on a lot of great teams in the Philadelphia Union Academy. There were some really memorable trips that we went on. The first one being to Qatar.
Oh, wow.
That flight was really memorable. The one to and back. I mean, 13 hours is a long time, especially when we were like, was probably like 11 or 12 at the time. So that was a long time for me to sit on a plane. But we also went to Brazil a year ago, which was awesome. Um, I think the biggest accomplishment would probably be some like GA Cup games where we won and like it was like a hard fought game. And then there was a couple in Brazil. We played a team San Lorenzo,
Okay.
and in the like most of our time in Brazil, like we weren't very successful in terms of wins. We still were playing all right, but like that game was so hard fought, like dirty tackles, like we didn't speak the same language, so we couldn't like crap talk, but it was still like you could tell that if we both spoke the same language, there would be like words of exchange. But we ended up winning that game, I think 3-2,
Oh,
and
wow.
after the game was amazing. We were so excited because, I mean, we hadn't won in a while, and we knew that it was like we fought for every ball that game. So,
Oh, cool, cool. All right. Yeah, man, I have no idea what the hell I would do on a 13-hour flight. I think the farthest I ever flew was like 5 hours to Cali because I'm pretty good friends with Michael Lahoud, who's a former Union player, and also I used to be his assistant public relations guy, so I used to help him with his social media posts and all. But yeah, that was like nothing compared to your 13-hour flight. I have no idea what the hell I'd even do. That's crazy.
yeah, it was not fun.
Yeah, I mean, major shout out to the youth academy. I mean, like, I guess Ernie started it at first before he left us to join national team duties, but they have done a phenomenal job. I mean, like, we had Brendan Aronson signed with the Red Bull in Europe. Mark went to Belgium, and then they wound up turning Austin Trusty into a decent star. And now he's with the Rapids. I'm not sure if he went anywhere else. I think he's still on the Rapids. Then you
Yeah.
got Tony Fontana is going to see a lot of major playing time this season, I believe. Matt Freese, solid backup. Matt Riel, hopefully we'll see some time, and then also Craig too joining you. So the youth academy's been nothing but great.
Mhm.
Yeah. So for people that don't know, what is a daily like day in being like in the youth academy? Because I know it's not only soccer, but it's also like school and stuff and your study. So like, what is like a daily day there at the youth academy?
Yeah, so big shout out to YSC Academy because that's the school affiliated with the union, and I wouldn't be where I am today without the school. Um, and I'm lucky to be graduating a year early. I'm
Oh, wow.
graduating high school in 3 years at the end of the year, and they've just given me so many opportunities to improve on myself, my playing, and my schoolwork. So that's a big shout out to them. But a normal day for me when I went to the school would be first you wake up and eat normal things, but then the first thing you would do is you would go to training at 8:30.
8:30.
You would train at 8:30 for about an hour and a half until 10. You'd get showered, come down to the school, which is just across the way. Probably get some breakfast, which is like a bagel, maybe oatmeal, whatever it is. And then your first class starts at 10:35. Um, you do that. We only have core classes here. So you have our Spanish as our language, and then English, math, history, and science.
Okay.
And then after that, so you do those classes on the same routine every day. There's no like switching schedule. And then after school, you'll probably get something else to eat, just a snack to hold you over till training. Depends on your age group, what time your second training starts. So you train twice a day for an hour and a half each time. If you're U15 and up, you train for 3:30 to 5, and the U14s, 13s, 12s are from 5 to 6:30.
Okay. Yeah, that is a great day. I think, I mean, like, of course, I was never a soccer player, maybe when I was like 5 to 6 years old, but I think I trade that in instead of doing like an 8 to 3 day at like a regular high school. That
Yeah.
sounds like a lot more fun for sure. So were you originally at a high school, or after your eighth grade did you join the academy?
So I was already on the academy for a
Okay.
while. Um, Probably like 5 or 6 years now. I was with the academy and in the program. Um, I had started in what's called the Union Juniors program.
Okay.
So it's not a full team. You get invited out to YSC here, and you got some coaches run some sessions with a bunch of kids your age. It's not a team. It's just like extra training for like high profile players at that specific age group.
Right.
Believe it or not, Jim Curtin was like the head of that type of program
Oh,
when I
okay.
was a little kid. So that's where he started with the union and worked his way up. But he was my coach for a while. Um, and then I was at St. Mary in a parochial school in the city, Fifth and Locust, from first grade to sixth grade. And then my dad, who's a teacher, as you know,
Hmm.
but others may not. He got moved out to Germantown Academy for a teaching job out in the suburbs. So my brothers and I followed him there for 2 years, and then I transferred to YSC Academy.
Oh, okay. Is he coaching soccer still, or is he just a teacher now?
He's coaching me still,
Is, yeah.
uh, and my brothers, but he's not coaching a team. No.
Oh man. Yeah, he used to be pure entertainment for PAC soccer. I'm sure that you went to games too when he was coaching, but he was so funny. Like I feel like people that didn't like soccer just went to see him because he wouldn't like take the public league serious, and he'd be like making fun of the referee or like talking
Yeah,
about the players on his team or the other team. Like he was just pure entertainment. He was awesome watching him coach.
yeah. I've heard some stories from before I could remember, but I've seen a fair amount for myself. So
Yeah, for sure. So I saw last year. I mean, I'm very upset with myself. So like, even when they brought the steel here, I never made it to a steel game ever. I've been just going to just union games, and even when the steel came here, because they weren't playing in Bethlehem no more due to like stadium things issues or whatever. But I saw you got to play some games on Union too. But what was that experience like for you to play at the
um,
USL level?
it was pretty good. We're the Union two now. Direct like we play like pretty much like where the first team plays. That was a great experience. I mean, I think it's a really good introduction level and like a growth spot for me at least because I had a lot of opportunity to play against grown men. Like
Yeah,
you always get to play a little bit up, like maybe a year or two, but when you really hit that, like, I mean, for us, it was like a 15-year age gap, maybe 20-year age gap.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's pretty different. So it took a little while to get used to, but I got a good grasp of it, and now playing with the first team, I'm excited that I got a little bit of like a hint at what MLS
Right.
is going to be like.
Yeah. Quinn, could you have imagined if so Drogba was like part owner of Phoenix Rising, and like could you imagine if you played like 2018, like would you even be able to keep your composure if you were playing against Drogba, or would you been like holy crap, like I'm on the same pitch as a Drogba?
I mean, I try not to think about it, but it'd be really difficult not to. I mean, just looking across and like looking across the halfway line at the start, you're like, is this real? Like
Yeah.
he's 10 yards away from me right now, and I've watched him on TV from like 4,000 miles away.
Yeah.
Like it's I don't know. I try and compose myself. Um, I think a little bit into the game, I'd start to like just think about the game now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work field ops too for the union from like 2015 to like 2018, and probably the most famous baller I've seen there was probably Ibra. I got to see him play when the Galaxy were here. Oh my God, he's huge in person because like I used to sit in between the Union home and away bench and stuff. So I was like,
Okay.
oh
Yeah.
my God, like Ibra was incredible to see there. Yeah, that was awesome to see him play.
Yeah. You got the
Um,
halfway spots. I like it.
what's that?
You got the midfield spots.
Yes, yeah,
It's the
yeah, of
whole field.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was great seats that I probably have to pay thousands of dollars now to sit there now. Yeah. Um, so I know you did say that you were able to practice with the first team. Like, were you able to practice with the first team a lot, or were you like more like of like a fill-in guy if like players were injured or also on international duty?
Um, it wasn't very frequent that I got to play with the first team before I signed. Um, Probably like 2 or 3 times I got the call up to play. Mostly because of injuries, but one was because of like just like an introduction and like see what level it was a group of players and see what level we were at.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's a great experience, trust me, because like, you were a fan, your whole life. So like you're seeing guys like Andre Blake, Ray Gaddis, like it must have been like awesome to be out there with them.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So also to touch up on that, so like obviously you're gonna help them with like your with like the training camp and all leading up to the season and also getting them ready for Champions League play. But who are like some of the guys that you're going to try to soak in a lot of information or try to lean on? Because like, obviously being a midfielder, you're in a great spot. I mean, like I've even met the guys that meet the team events and they are phenomenal. I mean, you got Martinez, you got Ali, you got Fontana, you even got Jamira Montero. So like, who were like some of the guys you're trying to soak up all your information from?
The number one guy that I want to soak up information from would be Ale. Um, he's a vet. He's played with the national team. He's a great pro. Just all around great guy too. From when I've talked to him, I definitely want to take the most information from him. I mean, he's gathered so much information in his career, and he's had a great career. So why not try and use his information to my benefit?
Oh yeah, of course, and that is a great guy. I mean, he's played everywhere, even being on the national team too. So that's definitely a guy to lean on, and I'm sure he's not going to big time yet because that isn't the way he is. So that is a
Hmm.
great guy to lean on for sure. So I did want to ask about your jersey number. So the last player to wear it was a fan favorite, Fabinho. Is there any pressure wearing it? And did you pick that number, or is that just one of those numbers that like, all right, Quinn, we're gonna put you on the roster, but you're gonna be number 33.
So there isn't too much pressure in my head about the number. I'm not really worried about about it really at all. I did get to kind of pick my number.
Oh,
I
okay.
had options. It's like 29, 31, and then 33, 34, 35.
Okay.
So I picked 33. Double number, Larry Bird.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's easy to remember. So if you make an impression, it's easy to see like, oh, it's a double number. Let's look at him. So
I like it. Awesome answer. And speaking about jerseys, how fire are those away kits?
oh, they're awesome.
Aren't they
Awesome.
cool? So like
Yeah.
when they first started the team, that was like what I originally pictured the jerseys to be because I thought they were going to be like more like Sons of Ben colors, but like I'm glad. I mean, even though it took like a few years later, but these are absolute fires. So I hope that they keep these, even as like an alternate kit or something, like after they're done with these as the road jerseys.
Yeah, I love them. I mean, another one that I'm sure you know, the Parley kits that we used for one
Oh yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah,
Those were so nice. I wish we kept those a little bit longer. But
yeah.
those were nice.
Yeah. So you're probably gonna think I'm crazy, but at first I hated them. I have no idea why. But then after I watched the game and watching the move around, like, you know what? I really, really wish that I bought them before they sold out. So yeah, like I see all my friends that are like Union fans and they're all rocking them. So I'm like, yep, I should have bought that jersey. So
I don't have one either, so
oh no? Oh
no.
man. So what are some of your personal goals this year? I mean, obviously, if there's like any friendlies this year, I'm sure you're gonna get some time and all. But what are like some of your goals, or whether it's if it's like with Union 2 and all?
So I'm hoping to get some minutes. I think that there's a good chance. We're training now a little bit, just a couple of the local guys. So I'm starting to get a feel for like what it's like. And I think that it's actually fairly reasonable that I get some good
Yeah,
minutes this year. Maybe MLS minutes as well. But I think that definitely, like you said earlier, like soaking in information from the other vets on the team, and I think that's like the first thing that I'm going to do. Talk to a lot of guys, and then build a bond with the team, and hopefully fight my way into a position on the bench and work my way from there.
yeah, yeah. That is a great answer. I mean, also, I'm thinking now. I think there's a lot of international breaks this year because of like there's like going to be a ton of World Cup qualifiers and stuff. Also, I think it's Copa this year too. So yeah, you should be able to get a lot of time on Union 2 and all. Now, um, I don't know. There's like a lot of drama with like the USL and stuff and all, but like, is there like an alternative plan in case there is no Union 2? Like, would you have to play somewhere else in order to get minutes?
There will be a Union 2 for sure.
Okay, cool.
It's just what league they're going to be in. I know we left the USL Championship.
Okay.
And I think there's going to be like an MLS U23s. I think there's no certainty yet, but I know there's games scheduled for the Union too. So.
Oh, okay, cool, perfect. All right, awesome. Yeah, I'll have to come and check it out then for
Mm-hmm.
for sure when there's games and all. All right, so I have 4 questions left, and they're all fun ones. So for you being a fan of the Union like your whole life, who's your favorite Union player all time?
Ooh, that's a tough one. It might be Barnetto was really fun to watch.
Yes.
Ole's fun to watch, and he's just a straight stud. Yeah, I don't know. Uh, Believe it or not, Connor Casey was one of them too, because like just a power off the bench, power sub. So I'd say probably one of those three. Just Connor Casey's just stuck in my head because of his presence, and I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're going to make a lot of Sons of Ben people happy with that one because they absolutely love Connor Casey. So, yeah. Mine, I would probably say, I mean, even though he's playing now, I do love Andre Blake. And then, of course, Seba was an absolute beast and the all-time goal scorer
Mm-hmm.
here. I will not say Rais Mboli. I do not like him at all. He was awful. But, yeah. Um, and then have you been able to hold the supporter shield yet?
I have twice. I had one when we were at the wharf, where our school was, and then I went to the kit event and got a picture there.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, I actually got to hold it. So I never in a million years thought that a major soccer championship would make it to Northeast Philly. So my friend, he's a Sons of Ben member. And for his birthday, they allowed him to take it home, so he was able
Wow.
to spend the day with it. And then he took a picture of it on his dining room table. I was like, "Do you really have the trophy? Like, what the heck is going on?" And then he's like, "Yeah, I have it." I was like, "Okay, well, you can't go back to Chester until you come to my house, so I
Yeah.
could." and at least hold it and take a picture. So yeah, it was heavy. Like it was
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot heavier than what it looks, but it was like so awesome to hold it and all. Yeah,
Mhm.
super cool. And then what is your favorite pregame meal?
Um, that's a good question. I don't really know. I know that the morning of a game, I try and have eggs every time, um, just because of its like protein and stuff. The night before, I also try and have a chicken parm, um,
Oh, okay.
because I mean it's just an all around balanced meal and like you get your carbs with your protein. So that's the science aspect is why I approach those two. But right before the game, I couldn't tell you.
No. All right. Yeah, I actually like the chicken parm one because, well, actually, Michael LaHood used to eat chicken parm 2.5 hours before the game. So we used to go to restaurants and eat chicken parm and spaghetti. I felt so full, but I don't know how the hell he ran a full 90 minutes with spaghetti and chicken parm in his stomach. That is unbelievable. Yeah. So my last question I have, we usually ask this as like a fun one for like all the Philly athletes and stuff for people that visited Philly. So what is your number one cheesesteak spot in the city of Philadelphia?
I was talking about this the other day. I'm going with Steve's Prince of Steaks.
Oh, yes. All right,
Uh,
cool.
yeah, that's class cheesesteak right there. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great cheesesteaks. And I don't think you can really go too wrong with a cheesesteak anywhere, but Steve's hits different for sure.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Well, cool, Quinn. This was so much fun. It was nice to see you again. I'm gonna definitely come out to some Union 2 games to check you out. I'm gonna have to buy a Sullivan 33 jersey soon. So I'll probably be the only one besides your family and friends that is probably gonna have one of
Yeah,
them. So yeah.
that's for sure.
Yep. All right, Quinn. Thank you so much again, and I know that training camp's starting in a couple weeks, so I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh yeah, of course.
Appreciate it.
All right, Quinn. Thank you.
See ya.
See you.